Hello, my name is Liene and welcome back to my channel and welcome to May wrap-up. I'm sitting here with my coffee. I couldn't be bothered to put on makeup, but this video needs to be filmed and I'm here. Yesterday wasn't the best because I had a headache day, so didn't do much. Spent most of the day in bed trying to sleep and sleeping a bit, but now today I feel a bit better, so I need to film a video or two. It's gonna be a wrap-up now. My May one, I read 6 books. Let's get to the books I read in May. The first book I finished was Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen. This is a struggle to talk about because I can't seem to remember a lot about the book, but I enjoyed while I read it. It is a story about Violet. She's a prophet for her kingdom, and we have a crown prince that she has made a prophecy about, and the prophecy was very interestingly phrased, so she can work around some words she used, but it is not completely true. But the prince needs to marry to kind of save the kingdom. There are things happening in the background to the kingdom, not good things, of course, and our main character has to work with the prince to get him married. She's asked by the king to lie, and that seems like the thing for king to do quite a lot with the seer. I think it's kind of given that the romance will be between our main character, seer, and the prince, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the romance part. The book, I enjoyed. It was a really compelling story. I feel like I got through it pretty quickly, and by the end there were a lot of things happening that I wanted to know what is going on, and if some of my theories are true. They were not. I would have liked them to be, but yeah, the romance part was I don't know, it just didn't feel right the way the prince treated her. So yeah, our main character has to work with the prince to make her kinda not so true premonition to come true, and things doesn't go as planned, of course. Our main character is really questionable. Her decisions sometimes are really interesting. Not good, sometimes bad, sometimes you don't even understand what she's thinking, but yeah, I enjoyed while I read the book, so it is not a bad book, but some things I didn't like as the romance. There's one thing I really liked, that there's a cat in this story that I didn't expect to be. The cat is the princess sister's cat. I don't remember the names for anyone except Violet because the name is in the title. So yeah, that's it. I think. Oh, did I say anything good about the book? Do you understand what the book was about? Me neither. If you didn't, I didn't either. Next I read an ebook, Sugar Pie by Maya Harden. I'm gonna put the cover here, and this was for Buzzword Reading Challenge. It is a short one, like a 70-something pages novella. I don't know, novella? Is it the novella? Is it a short story? It's a romance, and it is about a woman who inherits her grandmother's kind of bakery, I feel like, and she wants to finish opening it because her grandmother, I hope it was her grandmother, worked, or aunt? Grandmother. Oh, it doesn't matter. Her relative. And she had worked on it, but she died. She passed away and didn't manage to open it up, finish it and open it up. Our main character has come in to open the shop. And on her first day, she gets into a kind of an accident and is rescued by the local cop, and they start a romance. Quite quickly, they feel things for one another. So yeah, but it was a really short read. It was okay. It wasn't anything great, anything like amazing, and it wasn't really that bad. So yeah, there is a little mystery because some bad things are happening to our main character, like something is doing something, and there is this mystery behind who is doing it, and the cop is kind of trying to protect her, but is he really protecting her? He is, kind of. But yeah, that was a quick romancy read. And the next one was Murder Boat Diaries Volume 2. And this one includes book 3 and 4. Book 3 is Rogue Protocol. The 4, I don't know what the English title is for that one. But this is Murder Boat Diaries series. I read the first 2 books last month or the month before. I don't even remember. I feel like I read them in April? Oh, but it doesn't really matter. But this is book 3 and 4. I really like these stories about a robot who kind of is going rogue because he should be owned by someone. And they shouldn't be on their own, thinking on their own, but he is. As this is a series, each book has a separate story, but they are all connected. Like, we come from the first story to the 4th. I feel like it's kind of an arc, these first 4 novellas. I can't really tell you that much about these ones, but what I really like about these is how interesting it is to see how people react to him when they don't know who he is and when they know who he is, how different the reactions might be. And there was this really interesting and kind of cute friendship between him and another robot. So that one I really, really liked. I don't know, I find it cute, but maybe that's just me that find robot relationships between robots cute. Another thing that I thought about while reading this one, how different the story would be if our main character made completely different decisions. Like, he's not a bad guy in these stories, but what if he was? What if he went around killing people just for fun? That is scary to think that, like, robots can go on her own, make their own decisions, and I'm pretty sure not all of them would do the things he's doing. He's a robot, but I don't know if you can call him a he, like what the pronouns should be, but I'm calling him he, him. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. I know that there are more books in this series. I don't know. I know that there are novels. These are novellas. Maybe the book 5 is a novel and has a completely different story arc than these 4, because these 4 are definitely connected and they have the underlying story that starts in the book 1 and ends in book 4. I feel like it ends there. So it was an interesting, really interesting story. I really enjoyed it. The next one was My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry, or My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologizes. There are 2 different English titles for this one, and this is by Frederick Backman. I don't know how I feel about this story and what I think about it, because I felt, for most of it, I was really confused about what is happening, what is the meaning of the story. For me, it was really confusing. And the other thing that really bothered me, that right before reading it, I found out that this one is translated from a translation. Frederick Backman is a Swedish author. I feel like we have enough translators, people who can translate, who do translate books from Swedish. Why would this be translated from English? Why would you translate from a translation? I don't know. And I feel that is one of the reasons I couldn't fully enjoy the book, because I know it is translated from a translation. And I feel that is some kind of a crime. It should be illegal to translate from a translation. I was thinking that it might be acceptable if there is like this really rare language that not a lot of people know, that it would be translated from a translation. Because, for example, I don't know, there is some small country and they have a really specific language and no one in Latvian knows that language and can translate from it, so they translate from a translation. Then it would be kind of acceptable, but I don't know. Basically, this is a story about a little girl who goes around and meets her neighbors after her grandmother died. The little girl has to give letters to the neighbors. And there is this world, kind of fantasy world, her grandmother invented and told the little girl stories about. And they merge together the fantasy world with the real world, and the characters, the stories are made about, and I found it really confusing. Like, a lot of times I did not understand what is happening. Is this real? Are those things really happening? Or the girl is imagining them? It was really confusing, and yeah, I can't say I really enjoyed. The ending was picked up, like some things more happened as usual, but yeah, I was so disappointed. I loved A Man Called Ove, and I'm scared actually to look into that book. Maybe that one was translated from a translation too. And I have another, The Nervous People, in Latvian, and if it is also translated from translation. I don't know, maybe I should not look into the book and ruin my experience, basically. So, yeah. I read The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. This is a romance book about a woman who hires a male escort to teach her about love, about romance, about relationships, because she is autistic and she finds it hard to connect to people, and she feels kind of pressured to be in a relationship by her family members, so she hires a man to help her with that. And of course their relationship changes, I would say, really quickly from professional to something more, but of course they don't talk about it. And overall, I didn't like the book, mostly because of the romance, mostly because how our main character, the male one, what was his name, Michael, how he acted, and around her he was quite possessive, and I didn't like it. I didn't like how he treated her at some points. Didn't feel right for me. It wasn't the best read. I know a lot of people have enjoyed this romance, but I wasn't one of them. I don't know what I expected of it, but it just wasn't for me. I don't know what I would have liked for him to do. I guess I would have... No, maybe it's a spoiler if I say that, but yeah, I was disappointed. I wanted some cute romance, but this wasn't it. I feel like there's not a lot things to say about romance books. Either you enjoyed romance or you do not. The story overall was fine, except the romance. Like, it is kind of given when with the plot that it's gonna happen. Like, they're gonna get feelings for one another in a romantic way. Their deal at the beginning that he is hired to teach her things is not gonna follow through. Is that the thing to use? I don't know. yeah, that's it. I don't know. And the last book I finished was Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I read this one in kind of 2 parts because I took a break and read like 2 books in between this one. But yeah, I felt stupid. I felt like, for most of the book, I felt like I should read a book, Astrophysics for Dummies. Because I just couldn't get into it. There are a lot of, like, terms and things used that I couldn't wrap my head around. There were some interesting facts about the universe, about how it is right now, and how much we actually don't know about it. It is interesting. But I guess maybe I would enjoy it more if it was in Latvian, because it is my native language. I'm more familiar with the words. Maybe I'm just too stupid for this kind of a book. But it is a nonfiction about astrophysics, about black holes, about the universe, about the Big Bang, how the universe is expanding, about the light. Some places of this book was really interesting to see how it has evolved, like how the theories from the past, like Einstein and Isaac Newton, or those guys back in the past, how the things they discovered helped discover new things, or how people are still trying to figure out things, what is happening in the universe, and how we will probably never know how big it actually is. So in that way it was interesting, but I still felt too dumb for it. So yeah, that's it. I think I'm done with this wrap up. It was I don't know, I felt like it was really bad. I struggled through it, and I feel like I didn't have like the greatest reading month. Like the last 3 books were quite disappointing and quite not like really, really bad, but just they were just not for me, I guess. So I feel like I'm ending the wrap up on a really, really, really down note. Though my favorite read of the month definitely is Murder Bird Diaries. So at least one book I really liked I had in May, but all the rest is like, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. But lately I feel like I don't really enjoy the books I read, and I don't know whose fault is it. Is it the books or is it me? I feel like it's me. I feel like it's me who doesn't know what to do with herself, and maybe I'm pushing myself to read books, so I don't enjoy them because of that. But who knows? But this is gonna be it for this video. These were the 6 books I read in May. Please let me know what was your last read of May. What was the book you finished last? Because this was the book I finished last, but after this one I started and got halfway through another book, but since I finished it in June, I'm gonna talk about it in June. So yeah, this is gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you in the next one. Bye.